Well, it is Friday night, and that can only mean one thing. It's welcome to All Four Back, the weekly podcast broadcasting all your STS action from the week that's gone by. Of course, I'm your host, Mr. Dan Winchester, aka Chester 430, and I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Hadlington 83.
Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, mate, and good evening to Shad. Good evening, sir.
Greetings, Dan. Greetings, everyone.
Greetings. Now, we have some breaking news to open the show. It's not often we have a lot of breaking news, but this one is quite significant in regards to what was said last week from Big Slow Caney. He is in the chat room with us at the moment, so we want to grab a word with him if he wants to sort of jump in. We can confirm that that the signing of Mr. Craigie Hurl to the Scorchers has been confirmed by the committee. So Craigie has now made his will make his league debut. Great to see him getting finally that team spot. Thank you very much indeed, Caney. Absolutely. Craig, if you're in chat, mate, you want to jump in for a quick one, mate? We'll have a quick chat with you if you want, if you're around for that.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
There he is, the man himself. So you've now signed for the Scorchers. How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, very good. Since starting, everyone's been so welcoming. I've just been really excited to get going, and I finally got a shot.
Now, of course, you're coming for Tom Ridgway because unfortunately Tom's laptop went pop. Do you have a lot of any sort of nerves before your first match, or are you just going to go for it straight there and then?
To be honest, after I didn't actually realise what SCS was before my first proper meeting. So after that, that was an interesting one. But I thought the game was all right, and then the two meetings for Norse came up, and I didn't do so well. And then so I don't really know what to expect. But so far everyone at Scorchers has been really welcoming and really helpful. So we'll just see what happens, and the main thing is just enjoying it.
Well, you are in good hands, mate. The STS community, I said they're more than welcoming. You've had a lot of talk. Your name's been pretty much been dotted around the servers and all that. I was saying the sign Craigie Hurl.
Cheers, Kane.
That's from Kane. Yeah. Oh dear. Just tell us how you got involved with STS. Obviously, you've come in quite late into the game. Obviously, being season 18 now. What was your first take on it?
Yeah, I tried to join years ago, but I didn't really have the IT nous, as it were. But no, I'll be honest. I'm a bit of an idiot when it comes to that. But I've raced in SCUK for 3 years. Kane, Wolfie, I know Hads, Tom as well. I know all of those guys, and I got to the stage with sort of SCUK that do you know what? I'd raced in it for quite a while, and I wasn't really enjoying it as much, and the guys were like, just come across and try it. And do you know what? It's completely different. And I actually prefer it. It's so much more. It's a really nice environment. The racing's quite fun, and there's so much more to it than sort of other speedway games. So do you know what? It's nice to give something else a bit of a try and enjoy it.
And of course, a lot more tracks you can go to rather than just a select few on the SCUK game. We'll say. Shads, any questions for Craig?
I was going to say to Craigie, congratulations. This this means you can't go into servers as a Paulie now, don't you?
Yeah, mate, that's fine. Yeah, no, yeah. Do you know what? I've jumped in so many that
You've been in hours. I know you came in hours. You was one of the first ones you came in, I think.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
I mean, even from the go, it took you a couple of minutes to get going, but after that, I mean, you look pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's all guesswork. I got my eyes shut half the time.
Join the club, mate. Join the club. Now, best of luck, and until you come to Hydro, and then I hope you don't score a point.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Apart from that, best of luck.
Cheers, mate.
Had you wanna say anything?
Yeah, just well done for getting a team spot, and obviously you've held in a couple of meetings, and you actually got reassessed, I think it was as well, to get into the Scorchers.
Yeah.
I believe so. No, just well done, mate, and enjoy it, and get some more people over from STUK.
I'm working on it already, but yeah, no, thanks guys, and thanks for everything you do as well, because this is awesome. So thank you.
Oh, cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cheers, Greg. And in regards to your comment, Shad, you got no chance, mate.
All right.
the new hashtag sign down Winchester. You got no chance. You got
Listen,
no chance, mate.
Kaney's good at this sort of thing. So if he keeps them, if he gets the movement going, you never know.
I've got another one for him later, don't worry.
Oh God. Oh, brilliant. Caney says sign Winchy Dan. Oh, funny. Anyway, we've got a bumper show to get through tonight, chaps. We've got the SCS and GP draws we're going to get through in a bit, and also the interview with our special guest, Super Dip, which we're going to get him involved in a few bits time. But in the meantime, it was league action that we had at the start of the week, and first of all, it was a very close. I mean, this was a good match. Edinburgh Cowboys 47, Red Card Dynamite 43. It went right down to almost a last heat. It was sort of heat 13 was like the turning point with that 5-1 in heat 14 from of course Stefan and Caney. But let's say this match literally was going right down to the wire. Had, of course, you were in this meeting. Your thoughts on this match, because it went right down to heat 13, and of course that 5-1 sort of killed it for you.
Yeah, we done well to get a point, I think, again, to be honest, after we just don't seem to be able to start matches very well at the moment. 10-2 down again after 2 races. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's... we just don't know at the moment. Same against Warriors, and then we come back and got a point there. So I think we just have to show... If we could start better, I think we'll start getting a few more points, but we need to start from the off instead of like mid-meeting.
Yeah, this match actually, I believe, was streamed.
Yeah.
And I think there was one race in particular where I think Stefan was at the back, and then he literally came through like a knife through butter and got the. I was like, he either won the race or it was a 5-1 with his partner. Because obviously he only dropped 1 point. I think DL Shaw must have had a rocket up his rear end for that match, for that race, because he was literally. I think Stefan was last for about 3 3/4 laps, and then literally just got to the last lap and he was second, and DL just held on. But again, new averages came out for the following match, I believe, Hadlington. So of course your riding order will change somewhat.
Yeah.
Noticeable performances, I would say Crook, he was quite good. Obviously he got he was unbeaten for his first 3, and then just sort of dipped at the last
Yeah,
3 races.
we won't mention his last word.
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
That was my fault.
That was yeah. That was a 5-1 there, yeah. But yeah, it was it seemed pretty good. Of course, the Cowboys missing Bobby, so obviously the rider replacement ride took into effect, and how they managed to get Stefan as a number 1 to come in for a rider replacement. I mean, that's a credit in itself. It was really good to have that. But again, so you got a point from this match, Hads. I don't know whether that puts you in the table. I think you're still sort of mid-table, which we'll check out at the end of the meeting. So I think you're sort of mid-table. So that's it. Still
Fifth at the moment.
Thank you, Shads. They're literally it's still a long way to go. Thank you. So according to that, you are currently 5th, on 8 points. So 2 points behind Pyman. But I said it's still a long way to go in this championship. So what are you hoping for the second half of the season now?
Just to kick on a little bit, both team-wise, I mean, if we can start meetings better, we'll give ourselves a lot more chance of winning the meetings, and just, I don't know, personally, just try and relax a bit more and score a few more points.
Well, only time will tell, mate. Only time will tell. So with that match in the books, we then headed to the Hackney Norsk against the Hyde Storm, and again, the Norsk were led to the slaughter by the by the Hyde Storm. And again, Hads, obviously you're covering this one as well, mate. But again, Hyde Storm looking unbeatable that night. But again, Hackney's still looking for that first win.
Yeah, obviously they seem to have a few availability issues as well again. They had two guests for this one. Barney, who rode for in our challenge meeting the other week, he seemed to do quite well, 11 points from number one. He was the only one to beat Craig and Paris, stop them getting the maximums. So that's a good debut for him. I don't know if they'll be looking to try and get him in permanently. I know Max has been missing for a few weeks, but it did seem a few improvements in the scores. Obviously, down the meeting, Sleto at number 6, they're 7-1, and Feki 9+1, 2 wins. But I think the Norse, from what I've heard, they don't practice a lot, and I think that might be that's obviously paying dividends. I don't think Craig was asked to guest up until about 20-25 minutes before the meeting. I think he said he did 3 races practice, so that's not going to help. But Storm did the job, got the points, and yeah, I think it was an expected result, to be honest.
Wow, just to go sidetrack a little bit here, Haddington. There's just been a post on British Speedway in regards to a couple of sign-ins for next season, 2024 for Sheffield Tigers. They have confirmed the signings of Jack Holder and Ty Woofenden.
Oh,
So yeah, that's literally just been posted in the last 5 minutes. So Holder and Woofenden in the same team. It also means there was no Tobias Muzilak, of course. He's moving on. And Caney have said Swindon Motorsport have also found some land, so could be seeing the return of Swindon as well. It's certainly all going this one.
Sorry, I was just reading Kane's hashtag sack Craigie Hell.
Oh dear. Anyway, Hads, get back into the business here. Your ones to watch, or your ones to credit for this match for Norsk and Storm.
I think for Norsk, I think we have to give it to the guest. I think Barney. I think 11 points on your debut, and it stopping the maximum to Craig and Paris as well. I think he deserves it just for that alone, to be honest, because we all know how difficult they are to beat.
It's very rare that Craig and Powis are beaten in the same meeting as well. That does take some doing. So hats off to Barney for doing that. And for the Storm,
I think for the Storm, I'm going to give it Craig because he hasn't started. Well, I wouldn't say he hasn't started that well because obviously Craig is Craig, but he's had a few meetings recently where he's had a couple of last places, which is unlike him. So to reel off 14 points, that'll get his confidence going again, ready for the second half of the season. Yeah,
of course, and there's a big match coming up for the Storm against the Cowboys. So again, that'll be one to look out for. But with that being said, we then headed from.
Hang on a minute.
Yes.
Dan. I just want to mention something happened the other night. I wasn't very happy with. I noticed Barney J guested for Norse. 2 days earlier, he was in our practice server, practicing with us. So I was a bit miffed when I saw him actually riding for Norse at Hackney when he'd been practicing with us 2 days earlier. Now, I don't know if Becky had already asked him to guest before that, or he just wanted a few laps somewhere. But it just left a little bad taste in my mouth. You know, everyone knows about etiquette that you don't go into other team servers unless you're a Paulie. I know he is a Paulie, but riding in someone's server, practicing with them, and then riding against them 2 days later, nah, I'm not having that.
A little bit naughty.
Bit controversial, that was, yeah. Bit controversial.
Thankfully, it didn't make a difference to the score, but, you know, if the scores would have been different and we'd have lost it or lost a point, I would have been really, really, really annoyed. I'm not going to swear. I'm trying my hardest not to swear.
Oh boy.
Anyway, carry on.
with with that, we then headed to the was it Oak Tree Arena? Hang on. Yes, the Oak Tree Arena. Somerset Warriors against the Berwick Piemen, and this one certainly was a real close one. Went down to a last seat decider, and Hads, I think you refereed this one, didn't you? No, sorry, not Hads. Shads, you refereed this one, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I was refereeing with Stephen
And
lending me his server.
yes, and dare I say it, mate, what a match it was.
What a meeting. I think meeting of the season for me so far. And there's never more than 4 points in it. And the Piemen really, really surprised me. I mean, they have been improving steadily. And they're actually leading with 2 heats to go. And I was thought, yeah, I'm rubbing my hands together thinking they're going to take points off of them. Heat 15 was classic. I mean, I think even Tank said it was probably the best race of the season so far. And Ryan was again superb. I mean, he's going to be at number 1 when the new averages come out, and richly deserved because he's been racing superbly this year. But he ain't dropped a point. Vega had a funny night. 3 wins and 2 losses. This is unusual for him. Yeah,
very. Tank has just said he has Heat 15 if he wants to see it now.
Oh, I think we should.
Yes, Stephen, go for it. Yes, Stephen, go for it, my friend. I'll see Tank with his multitude of screens and technology that he does, which is great. Of course, we do have the podcast, not part of the SCS draw as well coming up, so stick around for that. That's Bewitcher in green, Racer Ryan in red, Dons in yellow, Badger in blue. Very close there, very close. Look at Ryan there hugging that inside curve, going from 4th to 1st as well. Oh, wow.
What a bend that was.
That was pretty good.
And even now, I'm thinking any result, you get 3-3, 4-2, 5-1, anything could happen here.
That's a good one there by Badger.
That was brilliant. That was really good.
I was thinking they were going to get a draw up to then.
I
thought, halfway through the race, I'm thinking, they're going to get something out of this and do us a real favour.
But Somerset just held on.
A point off them.
So I guess that only leaves your men of the match for the respective teams, please, Shads.
I think the Warriors one is pretty easy, and that's Ryan. Can't really fault that, dropping 1 point. And I'm going to give it to Bewitcher for the Piemen. I know it's probably his last. Well, it will be his last meeting at reserve. I think he goes up to 3rd in the averages after this. So and a brilliant tactical switch to put himself in.
Tank just said, "Thank God."
Heat 7. I think he put himself in a heat. Replaced himself in a heat. I can't remember which one it was now. It might have been Heat 7. I think we replaced Pompey.
Yeah, I think it was.
No, it might have been Heat 8 actually. It just hasn't been filled in. It might have been Heat 8 because he replaced Pompey. Whoever filled the spreadsheet in didn't do it properly. I don't know who it was. I think it was me. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Bewitcher.
Give it to Bewitcher. That's superb. Wow, I mean, overall, there's been some really good matches this week. Of course, the circus then rolls on to next week. But of course, before that, we do have the SCS and GP draws. But before that, we are going to have our first break, which means it's trivia question time. And it was an STS question we're going to have. Now, who had that question in the chat earlier?
Me.
It was you indeed, Mr. Shad.
Do
So
you want me to do it?
You go ahead, my friend.
Right. Who is the Warriors all-time? Who holds the Warriors all-time highest average? All-time highest average.
Over all seasons, who holds the highest average for the Warriors? So get your thinking caps on, chaps, and we'll see in about 5 minutes for the SCS and BGP draws. And we are back, as it says in the caption there. So the question that was given was who has the highest average for the Warriors? And Shad, do you have the answer, my friend?
Yes, the answer was Danny. Now, it wasn't Danny Powis. It was just Danny.
It was a separate Danny altogether.
There's another Danny. I think he had one season. He had an average of 10.31.
Stephen with the comment of the night. Who the is Danny?
You better ask Roscoe because he'd done the stats page.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. And Tanks obviously put on the countdown countdown screen rather than the and we're back. But in the meantime, we are going to switch gears. And it's now SCS and BGP draw time. Now, of course, the next round of the SCS and BGP takes place down under in New Zealand. I can't even pronounce the name of the track. It's not in my vocabulary. But we're going to do the draw. I think we're doing the BGP round first. So there's all the names of the riders that are in that meeting. So, Mr. Tank, if you'd be so kind to draw the first name, please. So, riding at number 1 for this meeting will be, straight out of the box there, Powis. So, Powis gets the opening number of the BGP series. So, who will join him in Heat 1? Of course, a lot of big hitters in this meeting. Number 2 will be JC.
Joycey.
All right, Alan. So JC's at number 2. So number 3. So Powis, JC, and Shad! Shad, you're in Heat 1, mate. Heat 1 with Powis and JC.
I've been in Heat 1 every meeting this season.
Oh dear.
Everything.
Oh wow. And you'll be joined in Heat 1 by DL Shaw. So a good opening race there. Powis, JC, Shads, and DL Shaw. That's the first 4. So the next 4 will be at number 5. Will be Speedy at number 5. At number 6 will be Craig. So number 6 for Craig for the BGP. Number 7 will be Squall. So that's number 6. Still some big hitters in this one. Next up, number 7.
Number 8.
Number 8, sorry. Thank you. And that'll be Sizzler. Sizzler in at number 8. Next up, number 9. Will be Crook 66 goes in at number 9. Now we go to number 10. And that will be Don's 101 going at number 10.
Or as we know him as a no rider.
Of course, yes. there will be a blank space at number 11 unless somehow miraculously Don can show up. Next up, still some big names in this meeting. Racer Ryan drawn out next. Look at these names. These next few names left. You got Stefan. You got Zagar, Bobby, Fakey, and Hadlingston.
Don't forget Had.
Hey!
Hey!
Took your time. There we go, mate. You're in.
Well, you get a point at least, Hads.
In the first one. So last four. Let's see who we get. Stefan. So Stefan will be out for next. Three more to go. And we have Fakey at number 14. So who's at 15? Zagar or Bobby? It will be Bobby at 15. Which leaves number 16 to be Zagar. So that concludes the BGP draw for the next round of the series taking place in New Zealand. And as you said, some really big names in that meeting. Chaps, of course, you're both in this meeting as well. So your thoughts ahead of the meeting, Hads, your first, mate.
Don't look at Heat 19, Chads.
Let's see. Heat 19. What's Heat 19? What's Heat 19? Shads, Hads, Stefan and Craig.
I had to look after you said that.
Wow.
Just think, Hads, if one of us needs a point to get to the semi-final. I know it's not going to happen.
It'll be Operation Smash Somebody again, won't it, Chads?
We could ruin someone else's night there.
That's the plan.
Oh wow! But even with that heat, lads, any other standout heats in that one?
Oh, let's have a quick look.
Heat 19. Of course.
That's right. Heat 5, Stefan, Powis, Speedy, and Cook, maybe.
Wow, yeah. Good shout.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. Heat 9, Craig, Zagar, Powis, and Racer Ryan.
That's a Warriors versus
Ouch.
Oh.
You got Craig, Pop Up, Harris, and Ryan.
Craig, Pop Up.
Yeah. So that's a good shout. That.
Craigie Hurl, are any of the BGP or SCS being streamed? What they're doing, Craigie, is they're alternating between each meeting. So it's going to be the SCS this weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The GP wasn't streamed last time. We didn't stream it, but we thought instead of sort of having the GP this time because it wasn't streamed last time, we'll keep it in order.
Yeah.
So the GPs are the odd numbers, and the SCS is the even numbers. So keep it fair.
That's fair enough. So that answers your question there, Craigie. So again, this match has been this tournament has been so good. Of course, the points the riders get during a meeting carries on for the rest of the season. So of course, it could be anybody's meeting by the time it gets to Bellevue. But looking at the table here, I mean, you've got Stefan, who's at the moment clear out in front, but I think he misses one match, but we're not sure which one it is. So I think he'll want to get as much points as he can before he misses the event that he's going to be doing.
Yeah, his closest rivals didn't have very good meetings last Sunday. I don't think they made double. I think only Craig made double figures I mean, Ryan and Paris didn't even get double figures last time, so that helped.
Nah, Ryan got 9. I think Powers got 8. Sizzler got 15. DL Shaw got 11. Bobby got 15. Craig only got 13. And I think Crook, who's still in the top 8, didn't ride that mean. I don't think, because he's not.
No, he didn't.
He's not programmed in on that one, so he missed that match. Tanks is only 13. Well, it's very rare for Craig to get under 15 points. Well, on a very rare occasion, he gets like 2 under.
Craig doesn't practice much, mate, these days.
No, he doesn't. I mean, if you had this match or these tournaments sort of when Craig first started, he'll be top and 15, 18s, 21s per match because he was that good. Not to big up my best mate, but but again, chaps, looking at your positions, still a long way to go. Still room for improvements and surprises. And say anything can happen in STS these days. So you're going in, Hadj, you're going to go into that meeting with I guess confidence. I guess.
I don't know about confidence because I've been riding like an absolute lately, but we haven't had the meeting last week. We haven't got a meeting the week after because it's the Knockout Cup. So I can just solely concentrate on practicing this track, which I haven't done yet. So hopefully I can score a lot more points than I did in the last round, shall we say.
A few more decent points, yeah, just to keep yourself going. And Shads, obviously you're currently in 13th, but again, still a long way to go. What's your thoughts on the match coming up?
I think we should talk about the SCS now. I'll go into it as I always go into these meetings. Don't want to embarrass myself by scoring something like 3 points. Oh, sorry, Hats. I'll tell you for one thing, I'll definitely show up. I'll definitely be there.
That's good.
That's all I can promise.
So with the BGP draw completed, we're going to move on to the SCS draw. Of course, this takes place at the same time as the BGP. And I do believe the wild card for this one is going to be Big Slow Caney, which I believe is confirmed. So yeah, Big Slow Caney correct, says Tank, thank you. So draw away Mr. Maestro for the SCS draw. Of course, this is like a Warriors stomping ground, this one, because the top 3 are Warriors riders. And we have first out Stephen, is it? Yep, Stephen 101 will take the first slot in the opening heats. He'll be joined in heat 1 at number 2 by... Oh, it almost landed on Mackinnon there, but no, it is Hobnob, comes in at number 2. Number 3 now has been selected. And it will be David No Fear. Goes in at number 3. Number 4. This will complete heat 1 of the SCS draw. It will be our very own producer, Tank. Goes in at number 4. And number 5 now, so let's see what happens. Number 5 will be Pompey. So Pompey goes in at number 5. At number 6, it will be Badger. So Badger goes in at number 6. At number 7, It will be the Storm captain, Lango. Be at number 7. Who completes Heat 2 at number 8? It will be Wolf 95 going in at number 8. Of course, Wolf started with a 21-point maximum after the first round of the SCS draw, and since had a couple of technical faults, which has hampered his progress, but hopefully he'll be all right with the match coming up. Number 9 will be the wild card, Big Slow Caney. Be riding at number 9. Still a few big hitters coming up. Number 10, it will be Sculio. Sculio goes in at number 10. At number 11, getting down to the business end of the meeting now, will be Ben Thompson. So Ben Thompson goes in at number 11. At 12, it will be Ads MFT. He looked very, very strong in the last round. I think he only dropped 1 point, and he was very, very, very good in that match. Now, this will number 13 be unlucky for this person? We hope not. It will be Le Sorcier going in at number 13. Three left. Who's at 14? It will be Scotty B. Scotty B goes in at number 14. 2 more to go. At 15, it will be Wolfie. So Wolfie's at number 15. And that leaves number 16 being given to Mackinnon. So again, very strong looking lineup for the SCS or the BGP series. Of course, that takes place the same time as the BGP. Shad, I'll bring you in first for this one, mate. SCS draw seems to be a warrior stronghold. Do you think that will continue in this round?
Oh, I'm sure it will do, but I think Ads will have something to say about it. And Stephen 101's due a decent meeting. I think he's at number 1 for the now, isn't he, Hads?
Yeah, he's number 1, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's due a good meeting because he's been very up and down this season. He's not been his usual dominant self. But I can't see past Stephen Badger. Would it affect him not being at reserve for Warriors? I don't think so, because I think he's still going to score wherever he goes. He seems to have got the bit between his teeth this year. And I think he might get the wild card, giving us a few surprises. Caney, if he's on it. I mean, it's a big, fast track as well. It's not. I don't think it's a dive bomb track. So it might suit some better than others. I'm not sure how it is defending there, so that might hamper Tank a bit with his famous blocking tactics. But no, you can't look past the 3 guys at the top plus Ads. One of those 4 is going to win it.
Yeah. Hads,
sorry to be boring.
Hads, you feel the same way about that, mate?
Yeah, I think it's hard to disagree with that, to be honest. I'd like to see somebody try and break out the pack. Obviously, as Shad said, this one's quite a big track, so hopefully it might suit the ones who haven't done so well at the moment. I think the one to watch for me is Big Slow Caney, I think, because we rode against him last week and he was so good at the start. If he can get out the start and he's gone, they won't be catching him here, I don't think. But I think I've just had a quick look at the heats. I think my heat, possibly the best heat, could be heat 13. Lango, Ads, Scotty B, and Stephen 101.
Oh, that does sound pretty good.
That sounds I think that's you're not going to find many races in this series better than that. I don't think.
Hads, do you agree with that one? Sorry, Shaz, do you agree with that one?
I don't think you're going to get much from Longo on that track because he's not sort of like he usually does well on. He usually likes the smaller, tighter tracks with a dive bomb. But I think Ads will enjoy it. I think that's his kind of track.
Yeah.
Looking down the list is I think Ads is a good shot actually.
Of course, as we say all the time, this tournament does have a lot more riding on it in terms of positions in the table. Of course, the top 3 go through to next year's BGP series, and then from 4th to 11 goes down. Then they qualify for the following year's SCS series in season 19. So again, looking at that top 3, it's Warriors dominated. But I will say, as I've always said, it's a long way to go. Long season. Of course, the last round in Bellevue goes to into March next year, from what I can imagine. So there's a date on there. Yeah, Sunday, the 10th of March, 2024, is the last round of the BGP and SCS series. So right into March, right before the season kicks off in real-time Speedway. But as I've always said, this round 4 is certainly going to be. So we're reaching the halfway stage of the SCS and the BGP now. So, like I said, anything can happen. Crazy things have happened in Speedway before. But yeah, you still think that top 3 is likely to still be kept as the top 3 there, or do you think one of them is going to sort of spring a surprise in the tail end of the year?
I still think the top 3 can be caught. I think, but the ones underneath, they really need to start playing catch up from now, because if they leave it any longer, I think the Warriors lads are just going to run away with it, to be honest. I think there is still a couple who can break into that. I think Ads MFT being the main one, and if Stephen 101 can get a couple of good meetings, him as well. But yeah,
I think the main thing here you've got to look at is that who's gonna miss meetings and who's riding everyone. I can see Badger and Tank riding in every meeting. Scotty might miss one. Depends on family circumstances, holidays, things like that. Ads definitely could miss meetings. I don't see Badger or Stephen missing any. So I think it could be a straight shootout between those 2 at the end.
Wow.
That's my personal opinion.
Hads, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, Stephen and Badger have started the season really well. I think Shad said the availability, they will be there every week. They're pretty reliant on being there. So I think it just depends on whether their team positions in their team. Is that going to make them ride any differently, or the form going to be a bit different? Who knows? Yeah. We'll just have to wait and see. But Badger might find it a bit more difficult in the middle. But from what I've seen this season, he doesn't seem to let anything affect him. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely. Shad, do you want to add one more?
No, what Had said about Badger, he actually rode at 3 for us the other week at Edinburgh in the Cup, and it didn't seem to affect him. He's still pretty good. I mean, maybe he had one bad race, but apart from that, he was pretty solid. So I don't think, and that's a pretty difficult track to go to. So I don't think it's going to affect him. I can still see him top 2. I'd still say it's between him and Tank at the end. for the SCS.
Well, of course, you will see all the action unfold in the coming weeks. Of course, interchanging which match gets broadcast. It's then SCS, then GP, SCS, GP. We're going to try and get as many done as we can in the run-up to the final round in Bellevue in March, at Bellevue in March. But I think now we're going to switch gears and bring on our guest for the evening. If everything's all set and ready, with the wonderful graphic that our producer, Mr. Tank, has produced for us. So, this gentleman has ridden 13 seasons for 7 different teams. He's a double league and cup winner. He was a league winner with the Warriors in season 13, and then he was with the Crusaders in season 16, and he also won the Knockout Cup with the Dynamite in season 15, and also the Crusaders in season 16. So he did the double with the Crusaders in season 16. Currently riding for Hadlington's team, the Red Card Dynamite, we welcome in the one and only Super Dip. Good evening, sir. Do we have Super Dip?
He needs to unmute his mic.
Oh. Super Dip. Unmute your mic, mate.
Should we put him on 2 minutes?
You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes.
Maybe he wasn't ready.
Maybe he fell asleep listening to us.
Possibly. Someone give him a nudge. But I'll say, whilst we're waiting for him, Hads, obviously, he's riding for you this year, and he's literally, his form's just come good at when it's mattered the most. I mean, he's doing really well for you, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing really well. He was on an 8 average before we went into our last meeting. Now he only scored a few points in our last match, but we worked out the stats earlier. He's actually improved his average more than anybody in the league so far this season. So I think that just shows the time and the laps he's been putting in, and it's all come together, especially with the new bikes as well. Because I know he loves the new bike. So
yeah, we will try and get him in. He said he was under the weather, but he was ready to go for us. But maybe he's got a bit shy.
He said he's just trying to sort it. Hopefully,
maybe he might have overdosed on Lemsip or something.
Oh dear. I say the Speedway question's going to be Bellevue based as well. So obviously linking in with Dip's supporting of the Bellevue Aces. So we hopefully have him.
In. Hello.
Hey, hey!
Yes, come on. Sorry, now to sort it out. Sorry, guys.
How you doing, Dip? How you doing, mate?
Absolutely awful.
That's a great start. Well,
let me just.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Right, I've got 2 things going. I've got my Chromebook going here, my phone going. You see, I don't know what was going on. Give us 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. No worries.
You're on 2 minutes. You're on 2 minutes anyway, so you just made it.
Well, he's now.
You have 1 minute.
It's
You
more
have
like 7
1
minutes,
minute.
like 9.
No.
Oh, bro. Are you all set now, Dip?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, I'm just going to take it off so it's not echoing off there. Turn this crap off.
Definitely unprepared.
How'd you guess? Right, I'm here, boys.
Oh, brilliant. There you go. Well, anyway, Dip, thanks for being with us, mate. We were saying to Haz just a minute ago that you've come good at the right time. That your form certainly picked up. Is that to do with like more practice, more track time on the game? Because we heard that you really like the new bikes, so you're trying to get as much
tell you
time
what,
on
tell you what, it's about time, isn't it?
those.
It's only about 25 years to get where I am now.
Oh.
The thing is for me, sounds a bit stupid saying this though, but I've upgraded my stuff. I've got like my computer anyway, sort of thing. I'm a gamer or anything like that, I'd say, but I've upgraded my PC. I bought something else as well, what's out there at the moment. And to be honest, I'm really enjoying it. Which I won't really say I haven't. But I have been really enjoying it. I don't know. It's hard to say. It was. I always thought I had the ability to race, sort of thing, but I couldn't put my finger on what I was doing wrong at the time. But with these bikes now, I'm getting out the starts better anyway. I've got a bit more confidence in myself as well. I just feel like I've got a bit more confidence now, and I'm ready to say, anyone, bring it on.
Hey, Dip.
Yeah.
When you could you give me a few tips about how to get out the starts?
Well, turn your headphones off.
How about get a time machine and go back 20 years when I was a lot younger and my reactions were a bit better?
Well, considering sort of thing, like I said, that's the thing. Obviously, it's a bit more. I think with myself as well, like you said, it's a bit more concentration as well. I've got more of that now, sort of things. And I have things going on with my health and everything, sort of thing, and I want well, sort of thing, and I keep getting ill. But I'm thinking, right, I just need to have a proper go at this now. And now, obviously, get my head down now, and I want to just carry on doing what I'm doing for my team, sort of thing, and everything. And I'm definitely after one of the meat leader spots. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, that's cool, mate. That sort of ties in with the question that Bobby had in the chat. He said, "You've always had potential, but what do you put your form down to this season?" But then he's put in brackets, "When Tank never opens any servers, and when he does, it's only one race every 5 minutes."
Well, yeah, that's about right.
Oh dear. But he's also got a question. Where is it? Yeah, I was gonna say it on to last, but we'll do it now. Tank has asked, where did the name Super Dip come from?
Right. Well, the name Super Dip come from was a certain ride. I'm not mentioning names. But a speedway rider used to call me Dipper. He said I was a bit dippy in the head. Now, people who do know me, sort of thing, a few, well, ads mate, it's what's he called? Ads mate, I can't really pronounce his bloody name, mate. I can't really say it. No, yeah, he knows me quite well from Mildenhall days, sort of thing. Anyway, we'll put it one way. I'm not all in the head, so my name name was Dipper. Then it went into Dipster. Now, obviously, for short, I got called Dipping. It's always stuck with me, sort of thing. I wouldn't say a lot of people call it me. It's just a nickname I've had for years and years. It goes back to when I was younger, sort of thing. Anyway, but yeah, it's just it just comes together with Super Dip. I don't know where I got it from, to be honest, but there you go. It just proves me ability with me brain, doesn't it? Really, typical Manchester lad.
Has your question for Dip?
Evening, mate.
Hi, mate. You okay?
Thank you. Your favourite home track that you've ridden for 13 seasons? What would you say your favourite home track's been?
It's been quite well at the top here. Wow. I'd say I really enjoyed Ipswich.
Oh, cool.
It was a sort of track I got down to. Now myself, it was a few was going back. It was one of them was the Isle of Wight. I couldn't get to grips with it properly, but I do like the big fast tracks, which would be gutty now the SCS sort of thing. I'd love to be in that meeting. Obviously, a big fast track. That's my sort of track, to be honest. Big fast track. I'm out. I'm gone. If that gate, I'm gone. Same, exactly the same thing.
the amount of people that have pulled out of those SCS meetings so far, I think you've got a good chance of being in it.
Yeah, true, mate. It's just the timing on the day when it's a Sunday. If I'm away, I go to the mother-in-law's quite a lot. You see, so when I'm coming back, we're usually back on the Monday or sometimes a Sunday, so I can get back. But then it's exactly the same thing, like you said before. The question, it's getting that practice in beforehand, then going in the meeting, just hoping you're going to score a few points. I'd rather get down to it than practice. And that's going back to the question you all said before. We meet yourself, it's me getting the practice in and getting my head down and doing it sort of thing and staying in. And so, Ipswich. I say Ipswich there, yeah.
How are you finding riding for the Dynamite this year as well? Because with Hamilton being your captain, how are you finding riding for him this year?
Absolutely loving it. All the teams rallying around me sort of thing, giving me the confidence to do what I'm doing now. And that's what it's spurred me on as well at the moment, to get to where I am now, to obviously up the average from the start sort of thing. Obviously, Dan Shaw as well, he's another influence as well. I've known Dan for, obviously, rode with Dan before in the past. So I've been back in the game as well, and he helps quite a lot. Obviously, Crook, my fellow Mank as well, shout out to him if he's listening or if he's in his truck somewhere. But same with him. Everyone in the team helps each other out. And I think it is with the team bonding we've got at the moment. It's like I've just said before, we start off slow and come back in the end sort of thing. We need to start off all together and get there sort of thing. I think we'll be whopping teams, and hopefully it comes all together pretty soon, to be honest.
What's been your best meeting so far?
My best meeting? Up till now, they had one.
Wow.
You know what? I don't know. I think would you say? Do you mean over my whole career? Would you say since I started, or is that just?
I'd say more of a mixture of both, really. You know, best meeting for this season, then best meeting overall. Like, is there one you actually remember that sticks in your head?
Not really, no. I don't know. I don't think that sort of way. You know, like what's been a good meet, I just try and get on with it, score my points, and on to the next one. To be honest, I know it sounds a bit daft, but that's my way of thinking. Obviously, score the points, do well for the team, try and get the win for the team, encourage everyone else in the team. That's what I just think my sat like. I haven't got anything where I look back and go, I've had a good meeting there, or I haven't had a good meeting. It's just, I think it's just me.
If you had a good meeting, you had a good meeting at Somerset.
Oh, did I?
Paid 11, yeah. 2 wins.
Well, I should have had more wins then, shouldn't I?
Yeah, well, you should have done.
That's another track as well. Obviously, I like Somerset. There's a few tracks this season what I do like, what I haven't been to yet, sort of thing, which I'm looking forward to again. So I'm just hoping, such what the run continues. But same thing. Well, you said Shad's there. It's a case of if I score 11, if I score 10, or anything, it doesn't matter about me so long as I've done well for the team. We've won that meeting, sort of thing.
Yeah, well said. Yeah. You don't worry about your own score as much as long as you win and you've contributed in some way.
Yeah, mate. That's what I'm more interested in doing and going. Yeah. I've scored 10 tonight. I mean, it's nice to get the praise afterwards because you know what you've done anyway, but not the going. Oh, look, everyone! I've scored 12, and I just want to get on with it. I'd rather do that and get on with it for the team.
That's a good attitude. Yeah, I
think that was evident in our last meeting when you only had 1 point going into the nominated, and then we was like, yeah, come on, and then you went out with. I'm trying to remember who you was with now, and you got a 5-1. You got us back into the meeting.
We got us we got a point. We get a point out of that. Yeah, which is it's like I said, it's exactly the same thing. Edinburgh went there, and all the practices all felt brilliant. Exactly the same thing. Come to it, and that was probably the start of it when I started feeling ill. But you don't like saying anything because you want to turn up for your team and do your best for your team, sort of thing. But done what I've done. We got that win. And obviously the rest is history, as I say.
We were saying that the graphic that Tank's done for you tonight, we thought it looked like a little bit like a bouncer. Like we see outside of clubs, right? Like stopping people getting into a club.
Well, I've been called worse. Don't you worry about
that. oh, bro. Dip, what's your targets then for the second half of the season?
Well, to be honest, we're going team event or individual sort of. I'm a bit gutted that I want about for the SCS. You see, because I was aiming to get into that and hoping to do well in there as well, sort of thing. But any kind of wild cards what come up with the AM3, Tank does ask me. Sort of thing now, every now and again. Obviously, you're probably getting a bit put off now because when they were saying I'm busy, sort of thing, on my way, sort of thing, they can't do it. I feel a bit gutted, really, saying no if you understand. But on the team front, I just want to keep going with my scores, keep doing what I'm doing for the team. And obviously, we can get some wins on the road, but obviously, let's all start off as a team doing well, if you understand. We all get going at the same point and just keep on encouraging ourselves to go where we need to be going.
There's been a new hashtag been put on the chat by Shad saying "Get Dip in the SCS." As brilliant as our Shad's for you.
Yeah, get him in. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's we're going to mention as well. We've not actually confirmed with the team. We're actually planning a Dynamite darts night out. So hopefully, and I think it might actually be in Manchester. So we're just going to confirm and check see if everyone's game, because obviously we want everybody there. So yeah, I think that just goes to show the togetherness I think we've got this season and the banter that we're having. To be fair,
sounds.
Until everyone's had a few drinks and anyone starts to be out before mid-hearts at the head. Don't you worry about
that. Oh, brilliant! That's brilliant. Any last questions from either of you guys? Shads, either of you?
No, I'll just say keep up your good form, mate, because you're absolutely smashing it this season.
Although saying that, he's not a reserve anymore.
No, we all know who's reserve.
More pressure.
You all know who's reserve now, don't we?
We'll be showing the averages in the next part of the show.
No, just keep doing what you're doing because you're absolutely smashing it so far this season. And as a quote in what DL said at the start of the season, excuse my language, 3-pointer my arse.
Yeah. I think everyone's happy to see Super Dip doing well this season. I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed.
Yeah, definitely.
He gets the big scores in, and we know that he's happy, and we're all happy as well.
That's brilliant.
Dip, it's been fantastic having you on board, mate. Really appreciate you coming in. Any last words from yourself, mate? Anything you want to say?
No, I'd just like to say thanks for having me on the show, lads, and good luck to everyone who's riding this season. Get that hashtag SCS
in the chat. Brooks in the chat. He says he loves you, Dip.
Who does?
Crook.
Crook, he just turned up. He said he loves it.
Get in it, fellow man. Get in there, kid.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's cool. Brilliant.
It's like being on Coronation Street.
What was that? I don't watch that crap, so what was it again? Coronation what?
That was great. Dip, it's been great having you on board, mate. Really appreciate you coming on, and wish you all the best for the rest of the season, mate.
All right, cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot, mate. Appreciate it. Oh, that was great, wasn't it? That was good. Stephen just said, "Christ, you and Dip together in the same room be flipping mental." Says Eamon Crook.
Wait till you had Stephen 101 in there as well.
It was worth waiting for.
Oh, I'll tell you that was great. That was brilliant. So we're going to have our second and final break now, which means it's It's Speedway question time. And with a question linked with our guest Super Dip, obviously being from Manchester. Who had that question? I think was it you, Hads?
Yes, Matt.
Yes, it was you. So with the Speedway question, hand over to Hads.
Okie dokie. As Bellevue related, who won the first ever race at the National Speedway Stadium in 2016?
Who won the very first race at the National Speedway Stadium in 2016? Get your thinking caps on, chaps. We'll see you in 5 minutes. So, did you get it? The question was, who won the very first race at the National Speedway Stadium in 2016? A lot of answers were in the chat, and they were all completely wrong. Hadlington, give us the answer, mate.
The answer was Nathan Greaves.
Somebody wouldn't have thought that, would you, Nathan Greaves?
There you go.
Wasn't he the one that sort of like jumped the start a lot? Or was that James Sargent?
That was James Sargent. It
James
was against
Sargent, yeah.
Mildenhall in a National League meeting, I believe.
Ah. We'll have to double check that one. So I'm pretty sure the first match was the Craven meeting. I'm pretty sure it was. We'll have to double check that, because it might be a bit of a little bit of a trick question. But anyway, that's for later on in the show when we find out what that is. But anyway, gentlemen, as you are aware, the new averages come out for the next match. So we're going to take a look into those into detail. I believe that our wonderful producer has the new averages here. So, if you can zoom just a tad, please, Tank, would be greatly appreciated. Just ever so slightly. There we go. That's perfect. So, looking at these averages, well, the standout one for me has got to be Stefan, being on a 10-point average, but he's only in front by 0.63, because look at that bottom left of the screen. Racer Ryan jumps to a 10-point average now. So we've got 2 10-point riders. In fact, we've got 3 10-point riders. Stefan, Powys, and Ryan. So that's how top those riders have been. Shaz, I'm going to bring you in first for your Dynamite squad. Of course, your top man is now 101. And of course, your match, you see yourself down at number 6 now. So your thoughts on the season you've had so far?
Well, Stephen's actually been number 1 since Lofty left, so he'll still carry on number 1. But now I think obviously we mentioned before the big move will be dipping to the middle of the side. We'll be able to, if everyone's available, put David No Fear at number 2 as well, which I think is going to be quite handy. With myself and Neil at number 6, hopefully we can, because Neil's actually improved his average as well. So
yeah,
but if he actually finds himself at the bottom because Dip's done so well. So
there has been a lot of improvements. A lot of teams have had improvements. You can see the averages there for the Dynamite. Of course, that one change where Crook was replaced was Lofty being replaced by Crook in the team. But are you happy with how the team's gone so far, Hads?
Yeah, I think we had a bit of a slow start as well because we didn't race till the second week. I think that, I wouldn't say put us off a little bit, but I don't think we did as many laps as we probably should have at the start. Being fair, so no, I think I'm happy enough with everybody in the team. I mean, Neil and Dip have up their average. DL's up their averaging now. He's going to be challenging 101 for that spot to see who finishes top at the end of the season. I think as well, once Crook's rid another few meetings in the league, so obviously he come in a bit late. He'll definitely be back up to above the 8 as well. So hopefully we can push on second half of the season.
Awesome. And now going back to the current green sheet averages, we can also see the Hyde Storm, and again they're led by Powys on that 10.19 average, only second to Craig on an 8. So of course got 2 8s for the Hyde Storm. Shaz, I'm going to bring you in if I can, mate. You're currently on a 4.97. But I say to the same question to Hads.
Stop sniggering, Hads. Stop sniggering.
I don't think he is. Is he?
He should be.
Oh, But you'll be riding number 2, I won't.
Yeah, I've been riding number 2 all season, mate. All season.
But apart from that, Shads, how are you finding Storm so far?
Well, looking at the meetings we've had, we're basically a 3-rider team with the rest of us chipping in. And you look at the averages, I mean, Craig's just slightly dropped a little bit, but Power's average has gone up quite a lot, over a point, I think. Ads has also gone up. The rest of us have gone down, which on the when you look at that, that's not a title winning side when you've only got 2 riders up in their averages. But we're only halfway through the season, so. But the rest of us have got to start upping our game a little bit. Lango's had a very disappointing season. I don't know what's happened to him. He was flying last year when he came back as a guest. When he had that short break, he was flying. I mean, he was averaging about 7 points a meeting. I don't know what's happened to him this year. It's just fallen off a cliff. But hopefully we get the old Lango back for the remaining meetings and start putting his average up. And so it was too late for me to drop to reserve, fortunately. But no, big up to Powis, Craig, and Ads. The rest of us, we've got to do better.
As you said, there's a long ways to go in the season. Of course, you got League, Knockout Cup, pairs. You got 14 tournaments. So again, there's still meetings taking place. A lot of riders can actually can improve track wise and get their averages a little bit higher. But I think one Tim I want to also look out is the I was going to say Cowboys or Warriors, but in terms of like the top 3, like average wise, Racer Ryan, Powis, and Stefan, those 3 are looking big contenders to be at the top for the remainder of the season. And of course, now it also shows that Hackney now have official averages.
Yeah.
So they're hopefully, I mean, they are the lowest combined average of just 57, but they've got so many points to work with. How do you think their season's going to progress, Haddington, in the second half?
I think this. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Juribo, the ones in the number 5 slot. He's only rode 1 meeting, so maybe they'll look at try and replace him. I'm not sure, but or try and get Barney in as a maybe permanent rider, or give him that a little bit more at the top of the team. I think there's only a couple. Obviously, Koba is he was assessed 550, he's now 528, so that wasn't far off, I think. But the rest has dropped quite considerably. But I don't know. Hopefully, they can bring a couple of riders in, maybe, or will they try and keep with their own Swedish team? I'm not too sure, but it'd be nice to see them getting more availability from the riders they have got.
Well, I think we're all looking forward for when Hackney get that first win, because I think they'll be using that private jet that I showed on the media chat a while back with the name plastered on the side of it. So with that being said, we're gonna switch gears now to the previews of the next week's league matches. This is a little like final part of the show. So it is league action coming up next week, I believe. And there are some real tasty ones, I would imagine, especially that middle one, that's for sure. So first off, on the 19th of November, half 8, the Berwick Piemen make the long journey down south to the Hackney North. Again, Hackney looking for their first win, and the Piemen looking to capitalise on having the weaker side of the STS League. I'm trying to work out which team has the rest week this week. So they've got Norse, Piemen, Cowboys, Storm, Warriors.
It's me.
Dynamite.
It's the Dynamite, of course. Yes. Thank you, Haddington. So again, looking at hope, I do hope that Hackney do get a win. Because it's coming. They nearly got 40 points against the Storm. I don't know how.
It won't be this week.
Well, crazy things have happened. Crazy things have happened.
Yeah, they got 2-5-1s. They got 2-5-1s against us the other night.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Absolutely.
I was in one of them. Yeah.
So in terms of predictions score wise, I still think an away win by, I'd say, substantial amount. I'd say like 53-37 possibly. That's just me being, using the recent form of the Hackney Norris. I mean, they don't train as much as everyone else does. I think that's what's causing them to have all these defeats. But again, new have just come out. Riding order will change, and hopefully this is the start of the comeback for the Hackney Norsk. We then have Monday off, and then Tuesday we have a double header at 8:30 and 9 o'clock. We first of all head to the Borders for Edinburgh Cowboys against the Hyde Storm, which is going to be, I believe, the tie of the week. Hadlington, your thoughts on the Cowboys against the Hyde Storm, because this one looks like it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, definitely does. I don't think there's a lot between the two teams. As Chad said earlier, they lost by a handful of points there earlier in the season. I'm not too sure if Bobby's back this week. I think if he is, with the averages, I mean, Kanye's come in and put over a couple of points on his average. But they haven't really moved places. Nobody's moved team-wise. For the Cowboys, Paris will now be at number 1. That's not going to affect him at all, I don't think. So I think it's as you were. I'll probably go for around about the same score as the previous meeting, to be honest. Like a handful of points victory for the Cowboys.
Okay. Chaz, I know you're in this meeting, but I want to get your thoughts as well on the Cowboys and Storm. Your the team is kind of not really well. You ran them close last time. What can be the outcome?
We lost by a couple of points. I'll take a point now. If you said we can't afford to leave there without anything. With the Warriors breathing down our necks, because I think they'll beat the Scorchers quite comfortably from what I saw from the Scorchers the other night. And we had a challenge meeting at Somerset Warriors. The Scorchers invited me and a few other guys to race against them, and we beat them quite handily. I don't think they'd practice much, to be honest. I can't see the Warriors slipping up, so I think we've got to get something from Edinburgh, maybe a win or a draw or just a point. Oh, my son said, "Good night, son."
And then, of course, you'll have the.
He's going to bed.
Yeah, Hadlington's just posted the first ever race at the National Speedway Stadium, so we can double check if that was actually Nathan Graves. But in the meantime, on that same night at 9 o'clock, it's the Warriors against the returning Scorchers. Of course, Birmingham had last week off, so now they're back taking on the current table toppers, the Somerset Warriors. And Shad's big match this one as well, with can the Warriors maintain that 100% record at home and send the Scorchers to the hang on, I've just been told that the Storm are top rather than the Warriors.
By a point.
There you go. My apologies.
Yes,
so I was looking at last week's program. Sorry. Oh dear, it's getting late. Thank you, Tank. Anyway, Somerset
Warriors
Warriors
are
versus
still
Birmingham
favourites
Scorchers.
for the league, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Say with Warriors, so with Racer Ryan now at number 1, he will certainly put the points in. And yeah. Had your thoughts on Warriors against Scorchers?
I think Warriors. I think it'll be a home win. I think it. Looking at that Warriors team as well, I think if they have the full availability, they could have Scotty at number 6. I mean, that is just ridiculous in itself. I mean, he's averaging 640, Scotty, and he could be number 6. I mean, that's just madness in itself.
That's bonkers, isn't it?
But I don't think. See, I think Tank will manage it quite well with Badger as well. I don't think he'll be chucking him in at number 5. I think he'll be in the middle of the team, and maybe himself or Zagar will be at 5 now. And everyone's at 1, so I think I think we've all seen Tank with his strategy when he used the number 7 for the Royal replacement. I think that'll come in again here. As for Scorchers, if they can get the top 4 out, they're all averaging over 8 points. I mean, they can give anybody a match. I mean, Tintin's improved a bit this season as well on his average. So, and I think Wolfie will benefit from being at number 6 as well. So, I think it'll be closer than what people think, but I'll still go for probably about an 8 to 10 home win.
Shad, do you agree with that?
Yeah, but I'm going to go for a bit more than that. I'm going for a 12 to 14 point home win. I don't think Somerset are going to be too bothered by the Scorchers. I think they've got enough strength in depth to be off most teams there. I don't think Badger's going to be effective much moving up from reserve. Like Had said, they've got Scotty there now, and Wolf could potentially be at number 2. So I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. And then you've got that. Well, depending on where they put Zagar, I suspect they'll probably put him at 5. So that means you're going to have Badger and Stephen in the middle order, which isn't going to weaken them. Now I can see them winning this quite easily, 12 to 14 points.
Wow! So of course a lot of big matches coming up. Of course, we've got the SCS draw, which we also the SCS we've just done, and the BGP, and of course, then you've got this week's preview, which has taken centre stage. And that just leaves now the look at the league table, just to finalise that one. Going into week 11 now that every team has now completed 6 meetings each. We have the Hyde Storm currently on 16 points, 1 point behind, 1 point in front of the Somerset Warriors, currently on 15. And we had the Cowboys on 12, Piemen on 10, Dynamite on 8, Scorchers on 6. And of course, the Hackney Norse still yet to trouble the scorers. And of course, don't forget that's as Haddington said, the debut for Craigie Hurl at the Scorchers against the Warriors. I believe he has disappeared from the chat, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. But top 2 still looking very predominant. The Storm as well. I think those 2 will change positions on a regular basis. But I think a couple more wins from the Cowboys will definitely spice things up. I think if the Cowboys can beat the Storm, then you're looking at potentially, Cowboys, knocking on the door for that top spot. What do you reckon, Hads?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that one. I do think it'll chop and change a bit. Obviously now everybody's rode everybody else who's only 1 point in it. I think teams will. I think that more teams will drop points because I think with availability, I think the Pies, ourselves, and Scorchers can definitely take some points off the top 3, especially at home. So yeah, I think it's going to be really close. I'm not counting out the Cowboys at all as well with Stefan in there. So I think it's going to be close.
And Tank has come up with a very interesting point that the minimum match counter will come into play. So teams that have not used their number 7s and 6s so much are going to have to start using them. So that could affect some teams more than others. We've got the chart up now. Here we go.
So quite a few decisions and tactics will now come into play for the remainder of the season. And what happens if riders that are registered in don't make that minimum counter, like to the amount of meetings? What actually happens? Do they just get like I don't know what, I'm trying to work out what they get.
I'm not 100% sure because I don't think I've ever seen it happen.
I think Tanks is putting a chat in them thing. This is a point deduction. Okay. So that's going to be something that the teams will have to look into for the remainder of the season. Now we will say that we will have a couple more of these podcasts coming up. We will be having our Christmas break, I believe, on, was it the 10th or 17th of December? We decided.
I can't remember.
It was the 17th, I think, because it's after the last lot of league meetings. I think the 4-team tournament is that weekend, and the pairs the following week, or vice versa. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, so
I think it's the 17th.
Yeah, we will verify that one. Of course, we're going to take a month break, but then come back in January, which is pretty cool. When the rest of the league's matches take place. Don't know what else there is much to say really, chaps. Now
it'll be the 15th of December, last pod.
15th December, last podcast. There you go. Yeah. You've heard it here first. So our mid-season
we're back
break
on the 12th, I believe.
And there's actually 2 days. That's actually 2 days after my birthday. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, December. So Marketing Diaries, December 15th, the final podcast of the year. And then of course we'll let you know when we come back for season 24, or year 24, and we continue this fantastic Tanks that signed down for his birthday. Oh, I ain't got the game tank, so that's not going to happen. And of course, in that sense, we are going to allow more topics to broadcast rather than just repeating the same, leagues, previews, interviews. We want to bring topics into play. So if you have any ideas for us for the future, then obviously do drop it into the chat, either myself, Shads, or Hadlington, or drop it in the media chat if you're in there, or the Sliders Discord. Either way, we'll get it done for you, because of course we had that Thrax refereeing course, didn't we, last week, which went down quite well. But anyway, chaps, I believe now the checkered flag has fallen for tonight. Unless there's anything else you guys want to say before we wrap up.
No, all good.
No, Shads, anything for you tonight?
No, I'm quite pleased. Thanks again to everyone for tuning in, and I hope this has been recorded, because I've had a request off Wolfie to ask if it's been recorded. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe Dip. I believe Tank.
I know we get a lot of people listening to the recordings because they can't actually be here on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And also they can zip through the boring parts.
Literally the entire show. Yeah, the entire show. Anyways, chaps, it has been fantastic as always. Great having you on board as per normal. So we'll be back again next week. Should be 8 o'clock. Any changes we'll obviously change. We'll let you guys know. But in the meantime, we will say a good night from Hads.
Good night, everyone.
A good night from Shads.
Good night, all.
And it's a good night from me, Chester. Take it easy, guys, and we'll see you all next week here for Awful Back. Stay safe.